future date, my future time. I must have said go whatever. Hey, you know what? I was doing my nerding out tonight, so it's all good.
Here we go.
Here we go. Right. Because we miss Kurt so much, here's Kurt's intro because he's never coming back, apparently. I won't do that to you, Kurt.
Get ready to laugh out loud with Wise and Nerdy, the show hosted by two.
Just kidding, I will do it to you. Just kidding, I won't do it to you.
What? Get ready to laugh out loud.
Keep you on your toes, little man. Keep you on your toes.
Hilarious dads who are bringing the unique blend of wit, wisdom, and nerdiness to the airwaves. From sharing hilarious anecdotes about their own experiences to giving advice on navigating the ups and downs of life, these two dads have got you covered. But that's not all. They're also obsessed with all things nerdy, from comic books and sci-fi movies to video and board games. So whether you're a fellow dad, a pop culture fanatic, or just in need of a good laugh, tune in to Wise and Nerdy and join in the fun.
Join in the fun, like little man said. He's just getting littler and littler by the moment. Look, you're so small now, Kurt. Hulk looks small because he's so far in the background. You used to take him more in the background. I'm just saying. So, hey, this is Charles McFall. That over there's Joe _Hard.
Yep.
Kurt is doing his last contractual appearance. So if we get him after this, it's bonus. It's bonus.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. This is the show I get fired on. All right, cool.
So we fired you while you're gone. You should get the memo. That's okay. Yeah. And writing, not quite shotgun. I don't know what we'd say with there's 4 people on the show. We got I'm going to say it right. MythrilBiata.
Hello.
So got the thumbs up and a Griffin squeak. So I love it. We're good. And Mithril is gonna share some awesome content with us tonight. Before that, though, Joe, what question of the week did you pick?
Would you rather be the best player on a horrible team or the worst player on a great team?
What do I get out of it?
What do you want to get out of it? This is an open-ended question.
I want to get just out of it. I don't want to be in sports at all. I'm not a team player. I just want to be the rock god.
It doesn't have to be a sport.
It's true. It just says team.
Kurt?
Aren't we a team?
Yeah.
I mean, you're already the worst player on the team, right?
He's the worst player on the worst team.
All right. You know what? While you guys think about it, tonight's episode is brought to you by the number 1 and the letter Scotch. And that is from my collection that my friend sent me, Buffalo Trace 94, and it's a bourbon. So that's what I'm going to be sipping on this evening. And I'll let you know at the end what I think about it. So, yeah, worst team or worst player?
I mean, if we are talking about sports, if I was the worst player on the best team, that means I'm on a professional team, and even riding the bench, I'm making bank. Just saying.
Right now, gotcha. Cool. I can play that game too, Joe. Aggressive positivity. Kurt, what do you think?
Yeah, so here's the weird thing. If you were the best player on a horrible team, that means you might get noticed to be put on the best team at some point.
And then be the worst player.
And then be the worst player. There's room to go to both. But if you start out as the worst player on a great team, you may not become the best player on a bad team.
Sounds like middle school.
Yeah. No kidding.
I'm like waiting for Mithril to go so we don't get psychoanalyzed about all of our inner child. This question. What do you think, Mithril?
I would choose the best on the worst team. That's a very difficult choice for a multitude of reasons, from my opinion. But I would choose the best on the worst team because I would want to use my capabilities and leadership skills to, lift them up individually and, help them grow in their skills, whatever it is, sports or, games. I don't know. What do you call it? Those sports games. anything. I feel like I would have more room to lift others up, but being the worst on a team, just you don't have that kind of, agency or people expecting so much from you.
Well, even if you have value, they may not listen to you because you're the worst player on the team.
Correct. And I've played enough of D&D campaigns where I was like brand new and I would have like a random idea and everybody was like, that's not a good idea because they're more experienced. They're like, it's not going to work because I've played all these other characters. And then, so I was like, but I think I could help, going into education. I feel like I could be in control of being a leader and showing by example. So that's my choice. I stick by it.
Such a rookie mistake, but okay, cool.
Whatever.
And Charles would know all about rookie mistakes.
He's
the best at rookie mistakes.
Them all and I move on. Here's why I don't want to be either, to be honest. But I guess if I were the worst player on a good team, I could strive to be better, right? I have room to grow, obviously, and learn. Being the best player on a bad team, I'm it's kind of the same answer as Mithril, but the flip side of that same coin is I don't want to have to bring everybody up. And my mind goes to having been somewhat of that player in the teenage years. Okay, imagine 14U soccer, right? That's 14 and under soccer. At 14, I'm already 6 foot tall, and everybody else is average height for 14. And since I'm tall and got the wingspan and everything, they have a junior soccer goal. So I did like hockey, and I would intimidate the other team by just doing the tap on the bars of the goal because I was the goalie. But my team sucked, and there was nothing I could do about it. And it was so. I was like, they will not score on me, but by God, there's I forget how many's on the soccer team now. Is it 9, 11? There's like
23.
Right.
23. Yeah, there's 23 more of you fools to score, and you can't do it. All I can do is stop them from scoring, man. You're killing me. So, tall. Well, in my case, it did help as a goalie, right? Yeah, because I had the reach and the not on a real. I don't think I would have been as effective on a real adult soccer goal, but in the junior league soccer goal where I could touch either side of it. I mean, come on, that's easy peasy right there. And I was
where it's more the size of a hockey goal instead of a
and to no surprise to anybody, I was very aggressive goaltender, and I would run as they're coming at me. I'd leave the goal and charge them, and they'd stop, and I'd grab the ball and just kind of shoulder check them and kill one. Yeah, it was fun. That's not the question though. I hate the would you rather's. It's so ridiculous.
I don't know. I've always think they're really good. I always look forward to that part.
Yeah. Okay, so what we've learned is that Charles doesn't want to help other people, and so he wants to be really bad on a team.
Would you rather listen to a bad dad joke or get kicked in the nuts?
That is such a bad choice.
I can't believe you use such salty language.
Everybody now, roll that dice. Hey,
how do I?
Great. I'm gonna try to say it. Grizzin Warrior. That's so cozy and great.
Mwah.
All right, so that was.
How do I
live without you?
Every time.
So this is directly for, and now I can't say Kurt can't speak to it. I don't know if Kurt or Joe has participated in this. I just know I've heard of it and have not yet. But how do I raise money for charity with my gaming?
And that's for who?
You.
Okay, just and I'm like, what, me?
No, he rambles. You just got to take it.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
It's a stream of consciousness, and my stream is strong.
I'm gonna see if I can do this in 1 minute.
Hey Siri, set me a 1 minute countdown.
Fine, I'm fine with that. Take something that you're good at and you're passionate about, or you want to get better at. It doesn't have to be necessarily something you're good at. And share it with people. Share your idea and your thoughts and your goal. And like they always say, like-mindedness attracts like-mindedness. So if you're trying to share a spirit of generosity and, are reaching out to collaborate and work with people to, help you build that up, you take it to anyone in any place that'll listen, be open to other ideas, suggestions, and you're saying about through gaming, use your resources that you have available and be open to new resources and treat it as an adventure. That's been my experience, and it's worked for me. Not saying it's perfect, but that's my answer.
Have you had the opportunity
wait.
Hmm?
All right, now your time's up. Go ahead, Kurt.
Oh, Charles.
Actually, dude, that's impressive. I am the worst player on that short 1 minute pitch team. I'm not going to nail it. So good for you.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that.
So my question was going to be, have you had the opportunity to raise money for charity through your gaming, and what did that look like at the time?
Yeah. Been doing it for on Twitch, I want to say since 2013 or 14, just whenever I got my PlayStation 4 and was like, hey, I can now stream online. I started with that. But before that, all I had was a gamer laptop that was real crud. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to get online very easily. And even though at first I was making the account with Twitch and figuring out how to work with it, just try to keep my philosophy, that self-talk thing to myself of work with what you got. Don't overanalyze or think over a decade. Thank you. Don't overthink it about what you could have. And, I have myself a supportive team. My husband has been very supportive of me, and a bunch of friends I've even known since high school, just lift me up. And anyway, so I started out with very choppy, poor quality streams that would always buffer, be too long, or, there was always problems happening, but I kept going, despite how there would be low numbers a lot, and just focus on eventually I will get the word out in my own way along this adventure, as I said. And it led me down a path of finding not only like-minded people, but people that are like representatives in the area, whether for Choa or local, Twitch streamers. So, and I've actually worked with both, usually on my own, but sometimes I do reach out and see if I can collaborate. Kind of like how I do with this. I mean, this, not a charity event, but like this, just reach out to people and find opportunities and show what I'm good at, and be willing to listen to what they're good at and see how we can bring it together and just keep playing, like just game on all the time.
Nice.
I mean, just for you, we'll make it a charity event. You two can donate to your daddies, and we'll raise money for us tonight. And that'll be. So what is that behind you right now? 'Cause somebody pointed it out in chat. The big blue blob behind you. What is that? It is a Bluey. It's a Bluey costume, is it?
Excuse me, it's a big blue puppy. But yeah, in short, I got this during the pandemic. At the time, with the back band stuff, and I'm like, okay, I could afford this right now. I know it's gonna be worth it one day, and every now and again, I'll use it for like charity events, children's events. Just to push the efforts forward. And now I incorporate it in the
is it coming back?
The new business that I got going on of teaching to play.
We're back.
All right, we were never gone, Charles. You were
I
gone.
I know it's me, but I know the podcast got it. Like, I think that was my internet that went down. But it's back for a minute.
We just saw you rambling.
So I actually, all three of you on my side, and that, okay. So everybody listening to the podcast, the hurricane has already passed through. For a live recording, Hurricane Helene is hitting landfall in Florida and affecting all the way up through North Georgia. And I'm outside the Atlanta area. Actually, I think two of us are outside the Atlanta area right now. Are you sound like you're local, Mithril?
Just north of Atlanta.
Yeah. And then it's heading up towards Joe a little bit later this evening.
Yeah, who's a bit more north than you are, but not much. Did you? I saw a meme earlier of Dolly Parton, and so they changed the words of Jolene to Helene.
Oh boy, always got to be a meme on a storm.
John is making me laugh a lot.
So you talked about how you got started. You talked about using your games.
Mhm.
What made you want to not just stream, right? Because a lot of us, especially through the pandemic, got into different versions of streaming and this and this and that
Yeah.
and that. But what made you go, oh, I can work with was it Extra Life? Is that who
Yeah.
you? Yeah. And use my gaming to make a positive change.
Oh, I gotta think a little bit on this one. How did I come? I think I you know what? I don't remember right now if it was like an internet search. Okay, hold on. Actually, I do remember. There's a local comic book store. I'm not sure if it's still open right now, but in short, they had a local team that had their flyer in the window, and they're called Pixel Heads. The Pixel Heads, just in general, for Extra Life, and I got curious about that and started looking up, researching, and found that I've already started thinking I want to do something a little bit more with my gaming because let's see, I was about 21, 22, 39 now for reference of a timeline. But anyway, I'm like, if I'm going to keep on being a gamer, I want to make it count, and I want to inspire others as I'm already on a journey trying to figure out how to help implement gamification into education and showing how it helps people. What better way to do that than just focus on sprinkling water on the next generation, as it were, and help the kids. Did that answer okay?
Yeah.
No, it's horrible. Do it again. We'll edit it.
Okay, cool.
Do it again, but add more energy.
This time we'll hit record. Don't worry about it.
So I got the spicy demon AG fuel. Okay.
Uh,
Loaded with cayenne pepper. Ready to go.
Classified V2.
I love how since we don't have a sponsor, your camera automatically blurred it out the whole time. It's great. So no, this is all good stuff. Now, tangentially, Joe, I think this kind of everything of why you do what you do goes into how you met us, which was through our Discord at Digital Media Track. So I don't believe you had heard of us before you went into Need a Guest. Was that about accurate?
Correct.
So obviously Dragon Con, obviously you've gotten this, you're a streamer. So I'm sure you went to some panels on the Digital Media Track, the best track, if you ask me. And then you joined the Discord, which thank you. Did it take a lot of courage or was just, why not, to get into Need a Guest and go, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. And I'd like to be on some shows.
I wouldn't say it took a lot of courage. It took some mental pruning of my time and schedule a little bit, considering time and place. And can I do this? Can I commit to it? The answers are yes. And that's pretty much my philosophy when it comes to socializing with people, like I said a little while ago, or before the show. Grew up very extroverted. So walking up and being like, hi, Helen, and introducing myself to people or even performing, being large crowds is not something that is strange to me. And I think that might come from my father was a performer. He could play 5 different instruments and sing, and just always would admire him and work with him on getting in talent shows and stuff. So when it comes to just socializing and connecting with people, it's just another day of the life of me, my adventure. I mean, I can't travel all that much. It's too expensive. And I'm coming to terms that it may happen that I might never get to travel all that much. So I'm going to make as much of a difference and a life here as I can. And what better way to do that than to connect with other people?
Very cool. I did forget I saw this in the chat earlier, letting you know that Mama's watching from Franklin. Sorry, Mithril's mom, but it's a little bit of a punchy fun show. But it's all good fun. We love her.
What?
She's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, because your friend then popped up and said, love this humor of bullying Mithril. So, yeah. Bert's used to it. Joe's used to it. I forget. Guests are new. I should be nicer. You guys have any
Yeah, what a
Oh, no,
jerk.
you're fine. I can take it.
Look, until I met Joe, Kurt can back this up. Until I met Joe, I was super nice. Then he introduced me to Strong Bad, and that became my spirit animal. And there you go.
Walking on heaven's door. Holy crap! I love those openings. Remember when he was up in the clouds? They had the different going through the themes. Like you click on the games or the comics or the email, and there's one where he was in heaven, and you got Strong Bad just walking in the background on the clouds, and he's like walking on heaven's door, and then the cloud just opens up. Oh, you're not supposed to be up here. Holy crap! Yeah. I played it over and over again. I was freaking 14, 15 when it came out. And I'm just sitting there playing it like a freaking 6-year-old. Play it again. That's
hilarious.
Mine was always his email. Whenever
email.
You're checking them email.
Wait. I think I can quote it. Here I go again with the email. Hoping it's another one from a female. Oh man, not female.
And I remember when his computer got updated. Because he had like a Compy 386 for a long time. I miss those.
Yeah, it was definitely its own era and its own, yeah. There was something I saw recently, and I'll keep this short, but talking about like the lingo the kids are using online and all this with the alpha and the sigma and the skibbity, whatever. I don't get it either. But there was something someone said, it's like, okay, if you have ever said any of the following, you have no room to complain about the verbiage today's generation use. And it was things like mushroom, badger, mushroom, or let's see, fires and missiles and stuff like that. I was like, okay.
Fine, take a nap. And then fires and missiles.
Kurt, are you getting any of these references, sir?
No, this is after my time.
Yeah, I'm like, make Kurt saying, Joe, all your base belongs to us.
I got that one. I know the badger, but I will see your badger and I will raise you peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Oh, what about Winamp? The Winamp llama?
Winamp kicks the llamas.
Yeah,
we're a family-friendly show.
Oh, I did not realize you were the voice of that, Kurt. You're a big celebrity in my world. All right.
I'm sure that llama guy's making a lot of money.
Candy Mountain Charlie.
Time of joy and goodness and joy.
They stole my friggin' kidney.
Look, all right. I got you all.
I got to mention I also went into voice acting.
Charlie bit my finger.
Oh,
yeah, that one.
And it hurt.
When are we going to start doing the Numa?
Did you roll the dice at least before you did the dance party?
No, what?
Oh, man.
The more you know. G.I. Joe.
Dad joke.
No, what are you doing? You're lying. Give me a dice cam. Get you, Joe. When we upgrade you this year, we're getting you a dice cam. I don't believe you.
They were both sixes.
Nice.
Look,
doubles.
Now the new rule is go for it. 3 dice, because unless it comes up Satan 6, it does not get a bad dad joke. All right. Hey, John's oh no.
And speaking of John, I've got some sound bites from
Kurt's moving
from John.
You hear me, Kurt?
Yeah.
But
are you ready?
They froze, yeah?
Nobody froze.
Holy cow, this is so frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna stop asking questions because here's literally what happened to me just now again. The left side of the screen froze with Joe and Mithril, like literally froze. Kurt was moving. I could talk to Kurt. He answered back, and then it did circles, and you two came back. So
I never lost you on my end.
Yeah, we never lost you. So Charles, if you run into something, just do a thumbs up, thumbs down thing, and I'll get you back.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
Froze my expression for a second because I decided to roll a die too, and it rolled a 6. So I was like,
"It's destiny." We can see your eyes moving, Charles. You're. All right, here we go from Devo.
Come on.
While talking to you after the podcast, you told me about what Phil did with the Botched podcast, and I started listening to it, and it's very funny. During this 2021 season, the rock god is referenced. The setting is Atlanta, Georgia. Fungus-induced zombies. So have a listen.
Insane amount of fungus that's growing on everything.
Our fungus cup round.
Okay, that's my cue.
A lot of those.
That was, of course, Phil referring to the rock god of fungus, RGOF. So now we know what the of stands for. You can thank Phil for that reference next time you talk to him. And what you can also thank them for are the myriad of jokes that I have lifted with Phil's permission, dare I say his blessing. And I have given them to Joe for the bad dad joke segment. I hope you enjoy every minute of them.
And I have not previewed any of these.
Wait.
Here we go.
This episode, hold on. This episode I said brought to you by the bottle number 1. I might have to go and refill bottles Z, W, and R to get through this crap. Because you cannot tag team dad jokes and botched. I already lived through those seasons
Kurt's
of
like,
botched.
I'm out of here. This is too much.
Yeah, I'm with Kurt.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Charlie. Shut the f up, Faster. Knock, knock.
What?
Oh, who's... Just do
He
it.
bleeped him.
I hate you so much.
I remember that too.
Say it. No. Say, I eat my poo.
What?
You just so much.
I'm not fucking doing it.
Thank you, Jenna.
Huh? So do it anyway. I eat my poo.
I need you to roll me a
check not to laugh.
con check not to laugh. You read my mind.
Everybody at risk because you're not
I'm too far away. I
More
didn't
of a
hear
con
that.
save.
Feaster got a 14.
Oh,
Not
let's
laughing at my own joke. I mean, what the DC of that knock knock joke is probably not that high.
Higher
In a
low?
life or death situation.
It didn't do well here.
I get a 50-50 on a 15. Or sorry, 14.
Whoa.
15 would
Oh
have
no.
Hi.
You just you have a very short internal snort.
You fart.
Yeah, but nothing is alerted. It sounds like.
Not yet. Luckily, they can't smell.
Rolled a 97.
How much is Phil paying you, John, to stick that relivable filth into my house? Because I was there for when they recorded it, and it's funny enough. But yeah, it gets worse from there.
Oh, well, let's find out. Here's another.
How many are you gonna play?
I'm only gonna play one more. I've got after this one. I still have another 4.
Hey, Charlie. Boom. Yeah.
Boom.
Did you hear about the fire in the circus? I swear to God, I will kill you. It was intense.
Oh, contract.
You laugh?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Good Lord.
Thank you for pre-editing that, John. That was good. You're muted, Kurt.
So was that Jenna?
Yeah, that was the season.
Yeah.
Jenna was on 2021 and 22.
Yeah, no, I thought he was just getting clips from this year. So that threw me a little bit.
Now, if you go further back to season 3, that's when I picked up the show for Giant Size Team Up. It's when they met me, and I became I was an in-game character called the Rock God of P Podcasting, and they rail me verbally. It was a nice little tribute, but it was yeah. Is it time to roll some dice, Joe?
Yeah,
Kelsey
sure.
texted me, says she's so brokenhearted you even hit play on that. I know, Kelsey.
Oh, well, sometimes. So, when Charles made his questionable comment in Discord about calling us little hooters, it made him laugh. It is obvious that he had been drinking alcohol and didn't give a hoot what anyone thought. That comes from Devocite as well.
He didn't
I
hear you.
believe, without hearing any of your voices, the statement was, roll the dice. Not make up another bad dad joke that I don't have to listen to.
Oh, I need to read it again. It was
Roll
from
the dice.
Devo.
Roll the dice.
What?
Look,
What?
Kelsey, look at Kelsey. Look, you're disappointing your wife. That's step number 1 to a Mormon divorce. Which you don't actually get divorced. You just don't get to leave the basement. You don't get to leave the basement. That's what a Mormon divorce is. So you keep it up.
Oh.
Sir. I'll bring that nail. I'll bring the nails and the boards, and we'll make sure that door stays shut.
Oh man.
Council of Dads.
Parliament of Papas. Come on. All right, Casey.
All right.
So Casey J in our Discord, we actually addressed some of his autism parenting questions last week.
Oh.
He did mention like, hey, did I miss something? Because I know you guys saw it eventually, but I did see Kurt. I did get in the Discord every once in a while. I got in there Saturday and was like, you know, when we do this full swap over to the new logo and everything else, leaning more into the Albo motif, all the fans are going to be called Little Hooters because it makes me laugh. And he's like, did I miss something? Like, but yes, owls are the symbol of wisdom, right? John has been helping us work on some owl-based new logos that are actually coming out pretty cool. And then that's where the Parliament came from because Kurt, what's a group of, because Kurt's the one who looked it up and educated us. What's a group of owls called?
It's a parliament.
There you go.
And so I think that's great. And I love the alliteration. Parliament of Papas and the Patreon Parliament level.
Oh, that's a good one. So, Mithril, are you playing with your Chinese food again?
No. Well, we should...
That was not a cat behind you.
Is this the just ask Mithril random questions segment? All right.
Well,
cool.
I thought she was like telling the cat to get down. I see the cat tree. I see the automatic water.
We've got 2 cats. Long story short, one of them is my mom's, and we're working on socializing her a bit more and getting her out of a nervous mindset. And this is hers, and her cousin, my cat Maelstrom, was trying to nose into her territory. So I was trying to tell them to get out here. That's all.
So you were playing with Chinese food. Gotcha. Wait, back. So,
I just
Kelsey,
got
yeah, you'll get there. Kelsey, when I told about the Mormon divorce, she's like, never. I kind of love him. And I didn't even make that one up. That's times. I love it. Then John had owl call.
Did you miss that part of the bad dad joke?
Of course. I took my headphones off. I'm not dumb.
I better read it again then.
Parliament of Papas. All right, everybody. Have you or your spouse ever been in a moment where money is a little bit tighter? You're coming up early in my marriage. It's like we couldn't afford to go out, those kind of things. Have you or your spouse ever messed up by you snuck out, you got some fast food, and you forgot to throw away the trash in your car and you got busted?
Oh.
Do you know who I am?
You're the man who doesn't eat anymore, but at some point
I ate like a house. I'm an expert at sneaking food. What are you talking about?
Did you ever get caught and get in trouble?
No.
Can you play this episode back for your wife?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know why she'll say no? Because she never caught me.
You're too proud of that. You're way too proud of that.
No, look. I know who I was and who I am. And if I want to sneak food and hide it, I am an expert.
Oh man, well, okay. That
down
needs
to
go
the air freshener to take out the French fry smell.
Wow. All right. I'm putting that in the how do I to ask you at a future date. How do I become an expert at being a food sneak?
Okay.
What about you, Joe? You're Kelsey.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened. I know there's a couple of different times where I can think of where I've opened the trash to throw something away, and there were some mysterious things that I didn't know were in the house in the trash can, wrappers and whatnot. Or Yeah, well, no, not that. But like, yeah, especially like candies, and then usually she doesn't like eat all of them. But I didn't know they were in the house, and all of a sudden, oh, in that corner over there, in a bag, hidden, tucked behind, there's a bag of candy she's been snacking on. Not to say that I've never done that. Too, but it happened.
So Kurt owns full-on Assassin's Creed sneak level food. You're like, throw my wife under the bus, but maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm just going there. I thought we were talking about us.
No. Charles specifically said you or your spouse.
Yeah.
He's the one that brought our spouses.
Because in mine, it's my spouse. We'll get to it. But Mithril. Now, of course, you don't have to do food, but you get the gist. Is it something that y'all should have done together?
So that we should have eaten together.
What's that I hear in the background, Joe? A little pop, 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 pop. I think she's hammering your door shut right now. So yeah, Kurt got it. So Joe kind of got the snacks or whatever. When we were broke, I was working my butt off as a paramedic, working 24 and 48s and not eating out and eating ramen noodles and just trying to be tight. And now, granted, my wife did not take our money and go buy Chick-fil-A. Her mom bought her Chick-fil-A, but I'd come back home after a long shift of basically not starving, but cheap hot dogs and ramen, and see a bag of Chick-fil-A sitting in her vehicle and like, what? Or you open a trash can, it's like you couldn't even put it in the big trash can. You brought it into the kitchen, like, I'm kind of gonna rub your nose in it. And it actually caused a few fights with us. It drove me crazy. And so she became more like Kurt. She got better at it, which was not the result. I just wanted something. Like, you can't ask your mom, get like a little kid's nugget meal that I can have tomorrow when I come home. Something? You're killing me. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this something that should have been together but wasn't.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to, dang, wow, it's really one of those things where it doesn't really apply, and I'm sitting here trying to rack my brain.
How about when your cat stole your food? Has that ever happened? Mischievous cats.
Ethan, this is for you. All right, so back to the story. Yes, my cat both of them are constantly trying to get my breakfast, and I have to battle them away, like I did a minute ago. Have you ever seen those coverings that go into your microwave? The plastic ones that have somehow they're magnetized, but they don't really have metal in it. Still sticks to the roof of it.
Sure, yeah.
But I'll have to cover my food with that if I go to make myself a cup of coffee or something. But because they'll be super sneaky with me, because I'm the nice one. Not coddling, but I'm nice. And my husband now is like the mean get out of my effing kitchen, like he's the cook in the house. And yeah, so I'm glad you gave me more options, because my husband and I we've been in that financial strap situation like our whole marriage, really. We've gone on a couple of nice places, when we've had the funds, but in short, really, we do a lot of things together, so it's kind of hard. I've never really snuck anything. And I take it back. Maybe getting like a fireball shot size of something when I'd said I'm just gonna go to the grocery store or do something else and come back with that, but I'm not really sneaking. It just he wasn't aware, but he wouldn't have felt it was a big deal anyway. But yes, cats always try and take our food, begging, pleading. I'm glad the loud one's not in here every 2 seconds, because when she gets bored, she lets everybody know. So, and one of the things she wants to do is eat when she's bored.
Random kid says, my uncle's dog ate an entire chocolate cake off his counter and it had to get his stomach pumped. My uncle said that was the grossest thing he ever saw. I bet.
Man.
Oh, a random kid actually did inspire a story. We had if it's real quick, I'll keep it quick. And in short, we had a Maltese. Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye, send him over the Rainbow Road back in December of last year. But my best friend from our childhood, who went into the Army services, was our roommate for a little while. We gave him a place to stay while he was coming home, and he did not push the pizza box with almost an entire pizza in it far enough on the oven. And we came home, we, saw bits and pieces of cardboard strewn, when you're walking into the kitchen. He was just it'd be a little white puppy looking dog, full grown, but and there was just not mustard, marinara all over his face and the crumbs and the bread. It was just, he ate the whole thing. I'm like, this pizza was bigger than the dog. And he looked so happy. It's like, if he's got any kind of inkling of, oh, I screwed up, it's not showing. He looked at us like,
yeah,
I missed it. It was a pizza party in here.
John says,
after that, just a lot of stomach issues, like that. So
I can't imagine the poops that came after that pizza party.
Yeah.
John says,
pepperonis.
Or like
come on, Kurt. No.
15 walks 15 times a day. Oh.
My lab has stolen my food off the counter, left everyone else's, but took mine.
Oh.
Yep.
Dang. That's how you feel, Lab?
Yeah.
That's how you feel?
I never get the social media cute animal. Not ever. You're not the one where it's like, who did it? And everybody like hunkers and looks seriously. And the one dog's like, none of that. None of the animals that bring you scratchers, that they found, or money they found in the trash, whatever. Nothing. I get the animal that wants to chew on your socks. And then when you smack them with the sock, they act like you killed them. And then they still go back to trying to chew the sock later. So I just non-animal person.
You have psychopets.
And I don't pick them because I don't like animals. So, I mean, I think it says a lot about my family. They picked the psychopets.
That's right. I've heard you say that before.
And you picked your family. Let's move on.
Dang.
All right. Roll the die.
I think we've already done both of those.
Oh,
we have.
This show, though?
There we go.
Hey, what was it?
Oh.
Daddy, tell me a story.
Jebediah coming through. The Joe, we got a good story that we're going to ask about here. But before that, you were talking about other little things. You got 3 beautiful boys, but you've yet to give your wife a daughter. I think it's time. Just saying. Jebediah is good enough right now. He needs to go stay at Uncle Charles's house. He can. Get a daughter, man. Get a daughter. Daughters are worth it. Right, Mithril?
Right. Let's go. Another playing field, I guess.
Yep. Just go to Micro Center, pick one up.
No, that was my first job as a teenager. Yeah, I'll get you a discount because
So what you're
some of us still tight like that.
So Kurt, you're saying I just need to name my next computer daughter, and then we're good.
Exactly.
I tried, Kelsey. I tried.
It's cheaper than the hospital bill for a pregnancy.
Joe, you actually came up with the story time to ask and tell.
Yep, sure did. What is your favorite educational game? Especially Mithril should be able to weigh in well on this, I think.
Well, maybe you can help define it, Mithril. What would be considered, because you do edutainment and those kind of things, what would be considered an educational game besides the obvious of like Broderbund or, maybe speaking teachers typing? Yeah, Math, yeah. Oh, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart when they replaced Math Muncher with SpongeBob typing at the local library. It's like, oh, come on. Granted, all the kids learn how to type well, but come on.
So, in my opinion, and research, I think the general definition of what could be an educational game is something that brings out a skill or a piece of knowledge, like factual, knowledge, that is expanded for the student, individual, etc., that they can actively, build on, like gain experience points, if you will. If we want to use that terminology because we're all gamers here, I'm sure. But you're able to take more from it than just, I had fun. Like I learned something and it's concrete to memory now, or it's better concrete to memory anyway. That exposure to that knowledge. So when you're gamifying a curriculum, So like the basics, like math, science, social studies, then that would apply to, numbers, physics, the way the world works, and our the geography and, states and capitals and such as we know it. So,
Okay,
but,
so what would be
but what's my
your
favorite?
personal favorite? Yeah.
Personal favorite. Yeah. Sorry, I felt like that was a two-part. Maybe it was
Yeah, good.
Right.
Yeah. You
Okay.
gave us the groundwork and I
Cool.
answered a freaking question. No, I'm just kidding.
Educational game.
There you go.
I
McDonald's had training games made for the Nintendo DS. I did not know that.
Oh. Yep. I
Not her favorite.
okay. You know what? Pokemon the card game.
Oh,
okay.
There are a lot of skill building and knowledge building that can stem from that, because one of the biggest things about when you find something for students, children, youth, but students in general, it could be adults too, but if you want to excite someone or get them interested in what you're trying to teach them, you want to make it relevant to their world. So in short, Pokemon, as a lot of you might know, is a lot of the creatures, they're named after actual, animals and bugs and, and things that relate to our world, and mythology as well. And they come together to make those creatures. But when you're playing the Pokemon game, you are inspiring not only math skills, turn taking, sportsmanship, hopefully good sportsmanship, figuring out what kind of a team or solo player you are, competitive, self-esteem boosting and a hobby. But beyond that, I love how I have seen, and I was one of them, a child that did this, that would look at these Pokemon and say, oh, I like the way this one looks, and it's so cool how it does X, Y, and Z, and I heard that it's based off of this creature. That makes me want to go research that creature and learn more about it. So, and that kind of trail of, I want to learn more about this on my own terms, and some of them be like, I want to draw them, or I want to make my own Pokemon, or others might be like, one day I want to make a video game of my own, and that's going to be another field. So when it's all these things that inspire different neurons in the brain of flowering different skills and abilities and fields of knowledge, that's why I'm going to go ahead and pick that. There's a lot that it just can kind of springboard with and go with, and yeah,
gotcha. Cool. Kurt, do you have a game?
Well, okay, so I'm kind of in a weird place too, because there are games that are unintentionally educational, and a lot. There's a lot. So you could go for the more obvious ones like a Scrabble,
okay,
or Mousetrap, which teaches spatial awareness.
Yes.
Trivial Pursuit, which literally just teaches you trivia.
Stop going down the whole list. I was going to talk about Trivial Pursuit.
So I will say though, I'm going to limit mine to computer gaming.
Yeah.
And honestly, the first one that I was aware of, and because look, I was around before computer gaming. And so one of the first computer games that I became aware of when I started working in the industry was Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? And that game was brilliant in accidentally, except not accidentally, but teaching kids geography and things about the world without them realizing it, because they were just hunting.
Yep.
And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And then that translated to the TV show. And look, I'm an acapella nerd. So Rockapella being the house band, I watched all the episodes because that's all I wanted to see. And I wasn't even a kid. I just liked the music. So, but that game, when we first took a look at it, when it came out, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And so that for me, that was a big one.
Yeah. I loved both of those, the game and the show.
Yep.
I honestly don't remember which one I was exposed to first, because I was fortunate growing up, although computers were expensive and all that stuff. My dad worked at a church, and for some reason, they actually had some video games on their work computers, and that's how I got to go and hang out with him. And he put me in an empty office to entertain me, and I'd play stuff like that. It was really cool. Hugh's got a question. I'm gonna mark it. We'll come back to it. Joe, do you have a game?
Well, I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, maybe, but when I was younger, we had a Fisher Price game that was a dual game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it had a memory game on one setting, and also just shapes. You had to match up different shapes and things like that, and sometimes you had to rotate the shapes around, like, oh, this fire truck, it fits over here, but you have to rotate it to get it to fit, type of thing. But in addition to that, it also had Sesame Street, so like learning to count with the count
with Big Bird.
So and so that's I remember that when I was younger, with my kids, Robbie Jebediah, he got a iPad through an educational program, and we put on there some educational apps, learning your letters. There's also one where he has to trace the different letters in order to score points and things like that. Yeah. And so those are great games that he enjoys playing, and it's helping him learn. So
yeah, I do love the modern era that we're in. It hit right at the right time when my two youngest were the right age of preschool. Sesame Street put a really cool interactive games on iPads that we got for like $5. Mm-hmm. And it really helped all that stuff. But for me, man, there's a lot of great. I'm marking all these in the chat to come back to you. There's a lot of great suggestions there. For me, I was going to talk about for myself personally, Trivia Pursuit. When I was growing up, I always wanted to hang with adults, and so I learned a whole lot of facts off those cards. Right, I didn't go research the stuff, but I kind of memorized. Okay, you asked a question, I didn't know the answer. I'm going to remember that answer the next time, and it did inspire that. But throughout the more modern age, Boom Blocks. Have y'all heard of Boom Blocks in the Wii? It was yes. Early on. Yeah, okay.
A friend of mine worked on it.
Really? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense because you were in that world.
It's a great game and very underrated.
You're talking about spatial awareness.
Yep.
Steven Spielberg had something to do with developing it. I remember because that's how I had to look it up. I'm like Steven Spielberg Wii game. Yeah, it's a game, and it was developed by EA Los Angeles and directed by filmmaker Steve Spielberg. So. I remember that being a big hype. Like Steven Spielberg helped develop a game for the Wii, but it was very much the motion controls and physics. And you really got a real world grasp of physics by throwing these balls and different things with the Wii remote, of course. And it was very accurate to how you would do it. And it was just such a fantastic game there. And my wife and I really played that a lot.
My wife.
This looks all right. Anybody want to invest $28 to get it for me on Amazon? For science purposes.
For science purposes? Yeah, wait. We just buried the plot here. Do you have a working Wii in your house set up?
Somewhere. Oh, Wii U. Does that count? It's in the next room.
I don't think it's on the Wii U. I think it's just the Wii.
Oh. Does the Wii U play Wii games?
Yeah, it does.
I don't remember. Does
it? See?
The Wii U was just the prototype for the Switch that they just released early. I loved the Wii. Wii U was okay. I missed the Wii though. The Wii was really, really good. Although it's a dumb name. I know what they meant, but everybody's like, All right. So here are some of the comments from the chat. Kelsey says, my kids are insistent that Minecraft Educational Edition is teaching Jebediah how to read. Jebediah. Now, here's the thing. My kids have definitively gotten smarter playing Minecraft. They've all played it at different ages. They always keep until about 14 to 16. They tend to cycle back over time to play it again, reload it on the machine. And now my youngest, I don't like that they're on YouTube. I have certain guidelines for it, but they are copying YouTube Minecraft creators and going from just building little square huts to envisioning bigger things. And once they really built what that person on YouTube built and followed the tutorial, they start freestyling and doing it themselves. So that creativity is really cool. And I can see that. Learning how to read there. Random Kid says Monopoly is great for learning math.
Monopoly is a terrible game. It's a terrible game. It's not good.
So I wouldn't say it's good for learning math, but I love that's my favorite game ever. By the way,
if you're the banker, you should be pretty good at math, right?
It's
for
more
obvious reasons, I
finances.
appreciated when Monopoly Junior came out. So the kids had, smaller amounts to deal with, and it was more relatable to them. But anyway, I've watched it. I
actually bought a version where it's a debit card, so it's all electronic based.
Oh wow!
It was easy to get an account, Kurt. But
Just
I would
getting
say
rid of all of the educational value of Monopoly.
You still have to know if you have. It is not math; it's finance. That's a whole different ball game.
It's
they
not.
Have to know if they have
it
money
doesn't teach kids finances.
It teaches kids not to cross daddy.
And
nobody buy all your properties.
And nobody plays by the actual rules because they're terrible.
Liar. If you really read the rules, it goes, here are some suggested house rules. Play it your way. Thank you very much.
Maybe that's what it says now.
Yeah.
No, it's on the internet. Do an internet search. All right. Oregon Trail is a goat by Random Kid.
That is a good choice. That's a really good choice. Yep.
As long as you don't die of dysentery.
Everybody does.
Nobody should ever diss Terry. He's a good guy.
So, there is actually, speaking of Monopoly, there's actually a game that is similar to Monopoly, but enough to, it was probably inspired by, I'm sure, but it's still separate enough and kind of digs more into relevant skills and exposure for the players. It's from a company called Simply Fun, and still am technically, but one of the things I do is sometimes I'll have the charity awareness raised to go towards those games, which I purchase and send to Toys for Tots at CHOA. And this particular game is, ideal for getting children understanding what to do with an allowance, how to be responsible with it. So think Monopoly, except there's actually an overall goal. The objective of the game is for them to save up for the best bike, from the toy store and stuff. And, you're going around the pieces with the dice and whatnot. And, you have all these events just like in Monopoly. But not only does it focus on it gives them actual plastic coins to, touch and tactile and feel and whatnot. And, hold that in their possession, not just the paper, dollar bills to play money, but in the center of it, there's a bank to where you put it in, and it addresses things such as investment, and it introduces investing your money, putting it aside for something similar to a COD, certificate of deposit, I believe is what it's called. For those of you who appreciate the elaboration, money you cannot touch, and I believe that's one of the objectives. But anyway, so one of the objectives is, save up so much and be able to donate money towards a charity in the game. And then there's three other objectives I can't remember, but they are related to something you do in real life, including saving up your money. So in short, similar to Monopoly, but it also relates and introduces real world concepts, if that makes sense. And the importance of knowing when to spend, knowing when to withhold, and when to choose to, delay gratification. And anyway, just wanted to share that since.
So what was the name of that game?
It's called Bank It.
Bank It. Okay.
From Simply Fun.
All right.
The kicker about this company is their games on average a little bit more expensive than what you might find at, pretty much Target, I guess, Amazon, or the stores or whatnot. But they come with a lifetime piece guarantee. As long as they have those pieces available in stock, if you lose, pieces or whatnot, you can write them in and say, hey, I need a replacement for this game, and they'll send it to you for free.
Cool.
And,
oh, wow.
That is,
I love that aspect of it, and that's why I signed up with them.
It definitely depends on the game, right? That's very necessary and really cool. When I say depends on the game, I love simple games like Candyland or whatever, just figures. Well, you lose the little cardboard Candyland figures that come with it, and my kids always had fun going and getting some little figurine out of their toy box and letting that be them. But I can't tell you growing up how many games we stopped playing because we lost the pieces that we needed to it. So yeah. All right, some more feedback here. Sorry. Hugh says Myst is the best game I've ever played.
Wrong.
I always wanted to try that. I never got around to it.
It's also it was groundbreaking at the time because of its graphics, and it went into a storytelling depth that no other game had done at that point, really. But at the end of the day, it's a visual novel. It's not great.
It's got a lot of puzzles that don't necessarily hold up, and like my wife and I got it for free on Xbox or something maybe last year when it was on a trial or whatever. And even then I was like, okay, I played this game to a certain level when it first came out forever ago, and my wife had never played it. She'd heard of it, so we were playing it. I had to go look up how to defeat some of the puzzles. It's just they're so hard and they don't always make sense, whereas puzzling now is a lot better. I love the my wife plays them. She really loves them, but I enjoy the Find It games. Artifacts Mundi is the company that we like the most about it, but it's just these cheesy, almost Flash. It's not Flash. It's almost like Flash games, but you move through this non-important story and it's all cutscenes and art, and then it's like, okay, you got to find 15 out. Find the fish hook. Find the
hidden objects games.
That's it. Hidden objects games, and they mix it up. But Artifacts Mundi makes the best. ones.
They're pretty good. Like surprisingly for that kind of a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when we always do it on the Switch, and so the fall's coming up, we're gonna have the fall sale, or they may wait till the Thanksgiving sale, Black Friday sales. Yeah. But you can get those games for like $1 and $2 on the Switch store.
I have another one, and we don't even need to talk about it. I'm just gonna say The Incredible Machine.
Dang, but that got me curious.
It's a Rube Goldberg type thing where it basically says get the ball from here to here, but you have all these widgets you have to set up and do it however you like it. It's all physics based. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what it was called, but I remember playing that in middle school.
Yeah, it was big at the time.
Lily the Kitsune says chess is great at teaching kids about strategy.
Sure.
Yep. Poor Grizzly Warrior never had a Wii. Sorry you were raised by dumpster parents. But Lily also said poker helps people to read others. And yeah, I agree. It helps you know when to make decisions that don't seem correct. Like that aggressive nature of games. I got to win the game. Are you hiding from Lily?
I said poker, so I just.
You're looking over your cards.
I was playing blackjack today. That's a good one to learn to count, right?
Yep.
Well,
just make sure you play.
Depends on what you mean by count, sir. And here's a question before we go on to the next segment here. Hugh says, Kurt, have you ever found out how much your extra skin weighed?
I do not know, because when I asked the doctor, he said, you didn't ask me to know.
But we told you to ask that before you passed out.
So I went, I asked, so when the doctor wasn't even in there, because I thought this is something they did as a matter of course, just for pathology or whatever. And I asked the nurse and I asked his assistant, and she goes, and both of them were like, oh, the doctor will know that. Okay, cool. And then after the fact, my first follow-up, I said, hey, by the way, how much did that weigh? And he goes, you didn't ask me to know, so I didn't bother weighing it. Like, what? I thought that's just what you did.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Sorry, there's the answer. So Matthew, you're no longer nerding out about how much skin was removed from Kurt's body. But on that tone,
creepy to begin with.
Yeah. He's been obsessed. Hugh has been like every week asking the question. It's been great. So we are nerding out right now. And Joe loves to jump in with his.
You're skipping the dice roll, just saying nerding out. Wow. Okay.
All right. There's 2 more segments. Roll the dice.
We've already done those ones.
Let's just make
We've
it
already
simple.
done those ones.
No, I got you.
There we go. I got it. I got a new one.
Time for a commercial break.
No, I already said it. This one's better.
Let's get paid.
All right, let's see what the song is. We'll do that one. All right, everybody. Kurt said 15 pounds. I was right. Hey, we have a great time hanging out with people like Mithril. If you'd like to be a part of that fandom, come on over to patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy and donate today. That is changing over. If you're already a patron, we have been doing by episode. Patreon across the board is going to monthly subscriptions. So there are going to be some slight changes there. All that will be helped out through Patreon. They're going to help us through that. And we'll be very, very clear on all of it. Also, I keep forgetting to tell people we're only on YouTube because that's where the awesome people were showing up and talking to us. So youtube.com/wise_n_nerdy. How about you chill out to some awesome music for a second while we reset my polar north so I can get to nerding out. Polar, magnetic, I don't know.
Go to patreon.com/wiseandnerdy.
I saw. No, you just. I'm like, oh, Kurt slid in. The more you leaned in, the more I pulled the slider down. And then you whispered. I'm like, oh my God, you're killing me. John says support the Parliament. Oh, we need a tie-in with Parliament Funkadelic. Oh, come on, Kurt.
Yeah.
I know you know, like you're 15 degrees separate. I don't think you know George.
No,
but I think you know people who 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 know people. And we can get George. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Parliament Funkadelic. That would be so good. So good. Also, Joe, how do they get their voice on the show?
You can head on over to wiseandnerdy.com/calldad.
And Mithril, I will forget because we, as you've heard on the show, we end this show quite abruptly sometimes. So before we hit the final segment of the show and then fight who gets in the show fastest, where can they find you?
You can find me at a couple of places, but the main fun place would be on twitch.tv/MythrilBiata, MythrilBiata, or Governor Scodell, LLC on Facebook.
Did I see on your channel a video of you eating or drinking something because of a challenge?
Yep.
The question is not what it was. The question is not what it was. The question is not why it was. The question is, how much do you regret that?
None at all.
Oh,
I love doing new things and trying new things.
Okay.
Within reason.
Yeah, you on the internet, you gotta be very careful about saying you like trying new things.
Exactly,
People will send you the weirdest snacks. Yeah.
But it was something. It was a liquid.
I think it was
something crunchy. Okay.
No, I think it was a drink.
Something crunchy. That was the bugs, and that was fun too. But it's not like as.
I am not nerding out about that, Joe. What are you nerding out about, Joe?
Hold on. Before we get into that,
this
hold
is
on.
no Pokemon. All right.
Hold on. You may not remember because we just started this last week, but we've been talking about it forever. Announcing what our questions are going to be in the future. So for the October 17th recording, the question is going to be, what is your favorite thing about Halloween?
Okay.
Oh, good.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. So,
but now we can move on to,
what are you nerding out about?
you're first in line. What are you waiting?
Yeah.
All right. So this past week, my wife and I watched The Boy and the Heron, which is Studio Ghibli's newest film. It was very good. It's won several awards, so I was expecting to be good. Plus, it was Studio Ghibli. But yeah, it's PG-13. There are definitely some scary moments. So I wouldn't advise it for younger kids. But it was, I really enjoyed it. And it's with Studio Ghibli, there's always a message underneath it. And so the message for this one is about, a child overcoming grief is really what the soul message is.
Oh.
And so it was really good. I liked it. Liked it a lot.
Excellent.
But the other thing that I'm nerding out about this week.
Well, no, I want to follow up on the video.
Okay.
Part there, real quick.
All right.
Because I was watching and listening to Mithril's responses to you talking about it. When it comes to something kind of heavy like that, Mithril, do you enjoy that kind of content, or you watch it to be sad, or you to avoid it?
Definitely don't avoid it. Well, unless I'm like a particularly you mean like the topic in general?
Yeah. The kid dealing with grief, like Coco kind of was a sad. I haven't watched it, but
Yeah,
it's a sad movie. Yeah.
I'm actually for them because there's a lot of feelings that children have had in the past that they don't understand or have a way to express, and the fact that we have a medium to translate it to them and help them cope and identify, I think it's very important, especially in movies and shows for that matter these days. So I definitely appreciate it, especially when it's well done. So like what you just said, that I was already planning to see that movie, but that can be a fine that's a thin tightrope to walk when you have that concept for children. And anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing how it's done, because I would trust Studio Ghibli to be able to do it well. So anyway, but yeah, no, I'm for it. Just make sure that it's done with purpose, and that you're, of course, properly rating it and giving it PG-13 and stuff. So like that kind of got my attention, because
Joe, what's that site you use that you can check movies about?
IMDb Parents Guide.
Yeah.
So I use that if I'm wondering about stuff, if it's good, if I would deem it appropriate for my kids, because it'll give you a breakdown of this is the swearing, and oftentimes it's, hey, these are the words that are specifically the swear words that are said. It'll tell you about sexual content, violence, all kinds. So they break it up into a whole bunch of different categories, so that you can decide whether or not it's acceptable for your kids. Although,
I love that.
If it's a show you don't want to be spoiled on, you probably should just watch it without your kids first and figure it out, because you're going to get spoiled on IMDb Parents Guide. So, but
now, Joe, specifically The Boy and the Heron.
Yes.
Is it a movie that you think you have to be in the right mindset for?
So while it does deal with childhood grief and things like that, it's done in such a way that it doesn't come across as heavy, in my opinion. Because it is a heavy topic, but it does it really, really well. It's more of the theme is definitely there, but it's somewhat of an undertone rather than, I mean, a lot of Studio Ghibli, it's an undertone, but it's very much, it's there throughout, but it's not like in your face. So
gotcha.
Yeah. I have to, animals and kids, my wife needs to know. Like, we watched Pay It Forward, and I did not, because you can't tell her the ending. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to tell you, you can't tell her the ending because it's the heart of the movie. I almost got a divorce over that one. She was so mad at me for making her watch that movie. She didn't finish the last 10 minutes after the climax of that movie. And I was like, I slept on the couch for like 3 nights. It was bad. So we went to John Wick. I was like, okay. Understand, something really, really bad is going to happen to a dog, but you're going to really enjoy the rest of the movie because of it. Okay. And she powered through. Like, I fast forwarded past it. She powered through. And then she's like, oh yeah, okay, I like John Wick. Is good. Yeah, because he avenges the dog. Okay. Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I asked about these kind of things. You don't want to be surprised necessarily.
Did your wife watch Terabithia?
Oh.
Did we watch? I think she has. I'm trying to remember if we even watched it together.
Old Yeller, where the red fern grows.
Flowers for Algernon. Come on.
The Outsiders.
Awesome movie, regardless. Awesome movie and book, but yes.
Oh,
yeah.
All right,
Did you know that the writer had a small part in the movie? Very small.
No.
She was the nurse.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah.
So now, Joe, you can
Yes.
nerd out about a truly nerdy thing that you're. I'm so happy you're so proud of it. It looks great.
Yeah, so Charles asked me to rework our website. So I've been playing around with it and reworking it this past week. It now shows on the main page. Oh, Charles is going to go ahead and pull it up. So it shows on the main page a gallery of the recent VODs, our live stream VODs. And on the side, it makes a post automatically for every Wise and Nerdy clip that gets posted to WNN Clips. So those are all going to be there as well. I've also put down at the bottom of our website a link to join our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, that is now open to the public. It's not a Patreon only thing. Though patrons do have special roles in the Discord. So, and actually, Mithril was the first person to notice that there was a link at the bottom of our Discord because we hadn't announced that this change was there. So Mithril went there all on her own and spotted it. So
I love you. You picked our original headers off of Twitch for Pokemon Go podcast.
So those were already on the website.
Yeah,
I just changed
them for Pokemon for a bit,
yeah. I just changed all the verbiage down there.
Okay. And there's that. So we're going to change up the logos and all, but I love it.
And while we've been here, I've thought of something else I need to add to the Call Your Dad page. I'm going to put a list of the upcoming questions on there.
Oh, yeah.
So that if you go to wiseandnerdy.com/calleddad, then you can see the list of upcoming questions if you wanted to answer any of those questions, or you can just send us whatever voicemail you want. But I'm gonna put a list of the questions there as we set them up. So,
and that's on wiseandnerdy.com/calldad. But yeah, you can put a big bold thing that says click below to leave your voicemail. But yeah, a list of the upcoming questions would be brilliant. And then donate to your daddy takes you right to Patreon. So there's that.
Sure does.
Cool. I love it. Kurt, if you think of anything that needs to be added, by all means.
I'll take a closer look, but yes, I will do that.
I love that it's fresh every week without us having to go and update. So it's really cool. And there's you. Yep. And that's it. This big box at the top is live right now. I'm going to hit play and we're going to break the internet. Okay, I'm hitting play and it's not breaking the internet. I don't know what it's not doing. There's a big play button on it, but it's not letting me play.
Weird.
What's funny is I can refresh and it'll. Well, it didn't change up that time.
On the other VODs that aren't live, you can click on them and watch them directly from our website. It's just the YouTube video, but yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if we could, not that you need to, but I wonder if we could embed it. But I love it because before it was just really old, original, like the first 2 months or less of original podcasts with AI art that we had a lot of fun with. But it's like at a certain point, it just became overly tedious to post, and people weren't really visiting the site. I love this now that if you do go to wiseandnerdy.com, you don't have to go hunting YouTube. It's up to date. All the videos are there. All the clips are there. We can actually, I think, Joe, we can actually make a tab for the podcast and have just a podcast player there, and they could listen to the podcast there as well if they wanted to do that. But thank you, Joe. And
that's a really good
what he's refraining from is you got to be a part of Patreon. Go to patreon.com/wise_nerdy. You get the full 2.5-hour recording because we do a half hour before, we do sometimes about a half hour to 45 minutes after, and Joe is just a little geeky king.
Wow.
I found this code and I did this code thing, and I'm like, go for it, Joe. Let's do that. And I made him do I made him make his nerding out because the second that Kurt and Mithril showed up, he's like, hey, wait, look at this, and he started the whole story over showing them like, oh, show off your shiny card. Thank you, Joe. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Kurt, are you seriously coming back after a 6-year hiatus and talking about a Balatro for the umpteenth time.
Not really.
You serious?
No. So look, I can go through a couple things really quickly. I would talk about Balatro because the mobile version hit today for $9.99. So if you have not seen it and if you have never played it, go buy it blind. You will enjoy yourself. It's awesome.
Yeah, I got it downloaded. It's on my phone, ready to go.
Nice. The second thing, Agatha, All Along, the new Marvel show started last week, and so far it's really cool. So go check that out. But the thing that I was nerding out about the most might be one of the nerdiest things that I've brought to the table, and that is last week was the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. And
okay, that is not what you. Okay, wait, Kurt. We're gonna do the anime thing, but in reverse. So Joe and Mithril, first off, have you ever heard of the Jigsaw Puzzle Championships?
No.
All right, good.
I love it already.
Joe, tell me what you think how it works. Tell me how you think it works.
Everyone is given the same puzzle and they're timed at how fast they can put it together.
Huh.
That's my guess.
Mithril, what do you think?
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
I would say about the same, but more like a 3-dimensional puzzle because I know those are really big right now, but that's my guess.
Okay.
You're both wrong. It's about a kid who hits a stupid golf ball as hard as he can. That's
So
tell them
yeah,
about that.
So really, Joe is the closest. So, however, this happens every year in Spain, and they have 60 countries that get represented at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. The competitions are broken down into singles, doubles, and teams, which are four people. And it goes through a quarterfinal round, a semifinal round, and a finals round. And there are 4 rounds in the first singles round, and so each one of those rounds gets their own puzzle because you can't use the same for all 4 because then other people will know what the puzzle is ahead of time.
Sure.
So they put them in blind bags, and part of the time is to rip them open it up, put it out there, and solve it as quickly as possible.
And dude, it's intense.
I watched they live stream it all. They live stream it all, and so I watched almost the entire thing, and it goes for hours because it takes a while, right? The singles competition is 500 pieces until the finals, and then it's 1,000.
Okay.
The singles competition, 500 pieces. The woman who won this competition and broke the world record, 32 minutes to do a 500-piece puzzle.
Wow.
That's fast.
It's really fast. And then in the finals for the teams, and the teams are 4 people on each team. The finals, they have 2 1,000-piece puzzles that they can do in whatever order they want, but they can't do the second one until they get done the first one.
Sure.
That's a lot of puzzling.
It's a lot. And it's ridiculously fast. And it's somehow really fascinating. Like it's just and I like jigsaw puzzles, but this makes me go, I wonder if I could practice.
Right.
It's just there's something about it where you're just going, this is really cool, and it's so nerdy and nobody knows about it. So so that it was what I would have brought last week. It's jigsaw puzzle, and so there are U.S. nationals that happen with regional competitions all over the place. It's a thing, and it's really well attended. I think for The singles competition, I think they had 160 people competing because you have to qualify from the regionals.
It would make sense that a lot of the competitors are single.
Yeah,
That's a rock god level joke, Joe.
Yeah.
Look at you sneaking it in.
But I think they got to the point where there were so many people there this year that they may have to start limiting attendance.
Wow.
My love life to pieces. This is
my wife, my daughter bought my wife for Christmas. Two 2,000-piece puzzles from Disney, and on the box is an easy to see picture with everything. Cool. Thousands a lot. We still haven't finished it. Like, it was on the table for a long time. We finally just put it away. But here's the trick that Disney pulled: was the picture is a white square and Disney characters. Okay.
Yeah.
What the actual puzzle is it adds this like tartan red and black pattern along the sides that repeats, that is not on the picture when you buy the box. So finding the edges is really difficult, because also the way they cut it, it can fit in different ways in different places. So it's not just it only fits here, and we gave up on that one. It was too much. It was a lot. It was crazy.
I don't want to tell you how many Disney puzzles I have here. My wife does jigsaw puzzles.
You see that Hulk behind him? That's a puzzle that he put together and just pasted on the wall.
Oh, we might tell it on the after show, but there's a fun fan story to that thing. But yeah, Joe, it's good. But Kurt, I do have to ask you, you've done a lot of Disney puzzles. Do all of them trick you? Like, here's the picture, but then no, they add some extra difficulty, or no?
No, most of them are fine. Most of them are pretty straightforward, but yeah, some of them lie.
Yeah, these ribbons are like 2.5 pieces wide, and they all have crisscrossing lines. Like, oh, I hate you so much, Disney, right now.
Yeah.
So, Mithril,
sir,
all night long, we've been staring at three things: Bluey really being creepy behind you, Chinese food running around, and these wings that are protruding out of your back. What are you wearing? What are you nerding out about these wings?
So I believe I don't know if you remember, but I believe that was the day that I had them when I first met you at Dragon Con, that these are the Griffin wings, and I don't have it on right now because I didn't think it was a point, but I've also got like a long lion's tail. And it's just the ensemble of, my stream. I just wanted to compliment it a bit, just kind of throw something in there.
Because you like
Griffins!
So when you
Griffin in Georgia.
So Mithril, when you go visiting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, do you enter the Gryffindor?
Oh God!
I was doing that long before Harry Potter was a thing. It's like I was a fan before freaking.
No, that's okay. That was purely for Charles.
that anger, that vitriol, that deep-rooted hate in her soul. I was a fan for Harry Potter. Please don't stab us. Thank you. But yeah, Griffins. So the mythology of Griffins seems to be where you started then.
Yeah. When I was little, I think I was like in second or third grade. It was a long time ago. We had I think it was like a high schooler where they were doing that thing where you get like extra credit for going to go visit, your local elementary school, or whatever, spend time with the kids, whatever. We're sitting in a circle, and this poor kid didn't seem to know what to do with us. So he's like, "Hey kids, what's your favorite animal?" And first, second, third grade, whatever it was, really early on, he comes around. I'm trying to think, okay, I like cats, but do I want to make that my answer? And he comes around to me, and I'm like, hey, can you come back to me? And then, let him go around and get everybody to tell him their animal. And finally he comes back around and he's like, I can't decide between a bird or a cat. I love them both equally. And he's like, well, what about a griffin? And he explains what that is. And I'm like, and just ever since, it's like, I like that. It was almost as if that was like I got my cutie mark. If it was like a My Little Pony thing going on, I could see like, an aspect of my personality. And definitely, I love having the best of both worlds. I like being a jack of all trades. I like having different skills, or at least knowing somebody that's more excelled in something so I can learn from. And anyway, I just love that balance. And to me, I know I get a lot of people like, okay, so you're a furry and whatnot. I was like, no, that's just, I mean, just because you walk around with a sports shirt doesn't make you the person on the team. The answer is really no. Just, I like them. I really think they're cool. I like them as much as anybody would appreciate, what they're really into. So, yeah. And plus, I love being able to say the Griff fan pun, like the people on the account. Hey, Griff fans, what's up? And just, yeah, just.
Such a shame you're booked up till 2027. We'd love to have you back at some point.
Oh, wait, I don't know. Maybe
Look, my brain goes all over the place. When you said the My Little Pony thing, I was like, My Little Griffin, My Little Griffin.
Yes.
Ripped your face off, and she's cute.
But it goes for the little nestlings, feed them so they be warm in the winter when their eggs hatch.
Random kids got some good questions. Why are griffins superior to hippogriffs?
Well, they're not. It's just what happened when somewhere a griffin decided to play with its food, because as everybody knows, back in the mythology, I think it was like Greek mythology, they would say that griffins led the chariots of Zeus. Greek, yes,
yeah.
Anyway, so when they looked down on Earth, they would see that horses were leading chariots on Earth, so that's why they would come down and be like, rah! And carry off with the food. So no, they're not necessarily superior. It's just when Griffin pureblood got too excited about playing with its food and its version of Chinese food, and they have the hippogriff.
What are your thoughts on the manticore?
Which version?
I don't know. Big Randos is. What are your thoughts on it? Or Chimera?
Chimera. Oh, geez. Oh man, I love pretty much anything that's like spliced up with different features and stuff. I like what they symbolize and stuff, and they're fascinating. Like I used to love to read the stories of Piers Anthony's
Xanth.
Mm-hmm. Quest for Chameleon was the first one I read. Yep. Yes, and I'm still trying to get my husband to read that one. I think he would really like it.
It's good.
It was a really good one. It was my first one, and I'm like, okay, I gotta have more. And you just, yeah, the Manticore is pretty good, solid. I mean, I think that Manticores, hippogriffs, griffins, I know there's one like chimeras. I think they're all in a good little tight knit family. Gargoyles and stuff. I just like what they symbolize and they bring to stories and like the deeper and darker sometimes fairy tales or the made for adults kind of aspect. It just makes people think. And you know what? I wish that they would call them Aethiopians, someone that appreciates. That needs to be a thing. I think some people have said it here and there, but Aethiopian, someone that loves the Aesop, if I'm pronouncing it right, fables, stories that are led by animals or all inclusive of animals, and because there are things that we pay attention to and see a bit of ourselves in them, or might not realize it until we see these animals and they say or do something that really makes us think about each other and ourselves and things that we relate to. And I love them. I just love them all. The griffins are all on top. Can't really see it at this angle, but I got like a whole collection of different griffins throughout my years of stuff I get.
Nice.
Every time I still get a chance, if I can afford it and it's a griffin, I'm going to get it.
Yeah, have a tattoo of a griffin?
No. I don't have any
tattoos. Goals. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
A little tattooed on your face. No.
I just got through with my harder parts of trypanophobia, so I don't know if I'd be able to handle that forever. And then have to go back every couple of years or decade or whatever it is to touch it up. Not to mention, I wouldn't be able to decide. Like I might have one idea, but I don't think I'll be happy with it forever. And be like, well, I want to redo it now, so I'll just stick with temporary tattoos.
That's a good one. There's a really cool company. They don't sponsor us, and honestly, I don't remember the full name of them, but it's really high end. Like you can send in your own design, temporary tattoos for adults, and it lasts for about a month and a half, and it looks like a real tattoo for a while. It looks really cool.
See, I think if I was ever consider it, I would go with something like that to test drive it.
At least test it and see what.
Or skin drive it, test skin it.
Yeah, that sounds like a cannibal thing. We're gonna test skin it.
Oh gosh.
Kurt,
As long as it puts the lotion on the skin.
What heat, temperature, smoke / hour length do we have to smoke human skin to get it crispy? All right. Griffins want to know. My nerding out about right now is this week breaking news.
Cannibalism is on the rise.
In Georgia.
When it floods,
Yeah,
you
I'm getting to a point where it's like everything happens in Georgia. I shouldn't be surprised by anything at this point.
except education. We don't have a lot of that. But earlier this week, I finally got the notification I've been waiting for. TikTok has told me I can go live, and so I waited. And I don't care for many TikTok lives because on the podcast you're just gonna have to imagine what I do here, but you'll kind of figure it out if you've ever watched TikTok. Every time I scroll through a TikTok live, except for one or two, like a musician, usually they're talking or playing the music, but every other live is a very visual demonstration. Is this?
Oh, because they're just reading chat.
Yeah, they're kind of reading chat. Oh, hey, Mithril.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm like, oh, you're kidding. I can't. Or they're just sitting there looking at something on their table and not. I can't. This is why I can't watch a lot of Twitch streamers. I'm not here for the game. I'm here for you. So if you're just going, click, I can't do it. So I was like,
they need that new teleprompter from Elgato where you can put your camera behind it. So you just, while you're reading, you're just looking at the camera.
That's built into the TikTok app now.
There
is a teleprompter built into TikTok.
But then you're reading. Okay, at least
no, but at least you can if you at all half talented, you can fake it, right?
Sure.
You can look at the camera and you can be animated while you're reading. But yeah.
I believe that. It might take some practice.
Yeah.
I've been watching the award show. The best people make you believe they're not reading, but everything is on the prompter. Everything at an award show. Now they may break script, but it's still there.
Unless if you're on the movie UHF with Weird Al Yankovic, that guy was very obvious.
Oh, that was a good one.
I love spatulas so much that I bought the company. Spatula City.
So I was
Spatula City.
Oh, that's the best ad ever. I love it. And they did it like twice in the movie, I want to say. 2 or 3 times, but yeah, it was good.
We've got spatulas. That's all.
I'm the only one drinking on the show, by the way, everybody. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I gotta kind of mentally prepare because I am not gonna do that. And as the patrons all know, I'm very good at just talking to myself. But here's the
true story.
I did not go to TikTok. Shut up, Joe. Did not go to TikTok studio that my son has on. My son streams games on TikTok. And on the PC for a while, anybody could use the TikTok live studio for PC. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be more natural on my phone. That's where I like to create 4 TikToks on the phone. And so okay, I'm mentally prepared. I'm getting all set. I have this really cheap, and TikTok shop made me buy it. I had this really cheap $10 loft set that plugs into my phone. And there's a second one that's in a case somewhere, but it comes with 2 lofts. I only need one. And they're okay. They're great, but they're fine. So I got that all set up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go live. I know kind of what I want to talk about. And I went, hey, right next to live, it goes live and goes, you want to talk or do you want to do mobile gaming? I went, go on. And you can do mobile games on TikTok, which I love to play games when I'm sitting out in the dark by my fire pit. Like during the summer, it's a fan pit. I put fans on top of it, but I sit outside, enjoy the weather, and it's not great for TikTok, right? Because I'd have to bring a ring light and have the face. And the mobile game I played Slay the Spire, which is I'm gonna play Balatro on it as well. But we'll talk after about Slay the Spire. Yep. So, and you can play any game on it. And it's beautiful. I preset it up, right? I got Slay the Spire ready, then opened up TikTok. Once you set up your live for me, the mobile gaming, you can change the title. And I talked about, I'm going to play Slay the Spire. I'm just going to chit chat, whatever. And you hit go. It gives you like a 45-second countdown. It says, get it set up before it counts down. But there's a big button that says open Slay the Spire because I'd already selected that as my game. And and it just rolls right into it. It puts this little translucent thing over the game so I could see who's in chat if they want to talk. No cameras, just a nice bright game. And my son watched on TikTok to help me give me feedback. You don't see what TikTok's seeing.
Right.
You just go and play the game. And he says it's real time, it's smooth, and you can hear it. So I get to just do my drunken uncle rambling over playing this video game.
Drunkle.
I love it. Yeah, I'm a drunkle for 100%. And I loved it. Loved it. Got 100 likes. Had a bunch of people watch it 30 minutes. It was fantastic. Did a little bit, about 20 minutes tonight before we got ready for the show. So much fun. So cool. I'll still probably do some talking head stuff, but I've always struggled to find my niche in gaming because I like gaming, but I'm really there to distract myself while I'm talking about things.
Yeah.
This is that magic spot for me. And there's other modes. I haven't gone past mobile gaming because it hooked me. So there we are.
Just don't bother with the PC Studio. It's terrible.
I don't want to get on my computer and do it. Yeah. I'll go to Twitch if I'm going to.
I wanted to do it. I tried it once, and it's terrible. I went back to mobile. The PC Studio sucks.
So
if it's not mainstream, I've heard about it. It's probably sucks.
Yeah,
the phone is fun, and I have Android, Samsung Galaxy A23. The mics are not as good as the iPhone. Any of the iPhones, in my opinion. There's a lot of good things it does. I don't like it. I will say there's a lot of good things it does, but being able just to plug in a USB-C, $10. I mean, I'm definitely going to end up getting like some of the nicer. The brand is newer. Some of the newer Lavs. I got Tyra bought some and let me play with them. I'll probably invest in some of those. But yeah, nice little sound. Play the game. It's so much fun. So make sure you go over to TikTok and find Rock God of Podcasting. Linktree/RGOP42 is where you can find all that stuff. Joe, what's your link tree there, sir?
Linktree/Joseph_Ard.
There you go. Kurt, what's your link tree?
Linktree/VO by Kurt.
There we go. You know what? I love all of you. Here's the last comment.
You're not even going to ask Mithril for her?
I don't have
hers at the commercial break.
Wow,
don't
what
make
a
me
jerk.
go around. So,
you know what, Charles? You know what?
Grizzly Warrior says, I hope and wish. No. Grizzly Warrior says, I hope and wish she shows up again on the pod. Yes, we hope so too. You've been great, Mithril.
Thank you
so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
I love all of you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come follow us every week. And check out wiseandnerdy.com where you can find all of our awesomeness.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website, wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
And VO by Kurt everywhere. Shut up, Mike.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just wow, Joe.
Grease and you're fired. Get out.